Good morning. Well, I guess it's officially morning. It's 12:53 a.m. Saturday. I'm going to try to do a little bit of a video here to show kind of how far I've come along with learning this new technology, but I've been making a few signs for other people. I need to make one for myself or my parents. I told Scott I might make one for Tara. So let's go in here to Cut 2D and see if we can do this without fumbling around too much. So it's going to open existing file. I'm going to make an R. I bought this these files from Etsy the other day. So let's just make a vector. First thing I got to do is set the dimensions of my table here, I guess. Kinda 96 by 48 inches. Okay, and there's our little file down here. I'm going to select that, and I'm making these 19 inches tall, so there we go. Now I need to put it where I want it. So we transform. I usually just leave about 100 thousandths on the X and Y of clearance just to give myself a little room, but I always forget I got to anchor that in the lower left. Let's get this set where we need it. Bam. Close that tool. And there may be easier ways, but I've been coming in here and there's 1, 2, 3. Those are inches, so get that to where these, I think, are tenths of an inch. I just need to make me a line here, just to leave a little room on the edge. Let's go with about 300 thousandths right there. I'll draw a line there. There's 1, 2, 3. Somewhere right in there. And there. Let's do the same thing over here. And I'll show you why here in just a minute. Get this where it's showing tenths. And let's just go 1, 2, 3 or 400 thousandths, just to give myself a little room there. Just draw me a little line. Something like, I'm not very good at this CAD stuff, I'm telling you, but I've improved some. Okay, we'll close that tool and let's get this back out here where we look. Now that gives me a little box I can use for like a vector box. Just got to push shift to select more than one vector at a time. Now I should be able to put some letters in that box. Draw text within a vector right there. I've just been using the same font. It seems to work fine. So let's put my name in here. I think it'll barely fit in there. So we'll close that tool. Now let's transform the size of that to where it fits in here. I'll zoom in a little bit so we can see this better. I need them to fit right inside that box. So let's try about 2 3/4 inches. See if that's right. And no, it's a little bit big there. Let's go 2.6 inches. That's too small. Let's go 2.67. It's still a little small. About 2.7 inches. I don't think that's quite enough. 2.72. Now we need to move them down in that box. So let's close that tool. Go to move. This is our X and Y coordinates, so we need to move the Y to a little less more negative from what it is, so let's just go with 8.2. Zoom in a little. We need these to just clear that box. And it needs just a little more on the sides, but I think we're about right on our up and down. Now these curved letters take a little more adjusting, but we can work on that in a minute. So let's change our size again. Just a little more. Let's go 2.73. See, that's showing to be just about right on the top. And just a little bit there. That's about right, I think. Just got to make sure it's all the way across. Yep, that looks fine. As Adam Booth would say, all the way across. He's funny. Okay. I think he's got a little Cajun in him or something. I got to meet him the other day. He's a pretty neat guy. Okay. Those all look good. See, they're just protruding across. I mean, above that and below. The curved letters need some work. Just making sure all these flat ones are good. I got to meet with Tom Zeleckman or whatever his name is the other day too. He's a really good guy and an extremely friendly guy. Okay, now let's change all these to vectors. Right now it's still text, so we got to change these to vectors so we can change them individually. So the O is a little big, so we got to select these vectors one at a time. Push Shift to select more than one. Now let's change the size. We're at 2.73. Let's go down to 2.7. Let's do about 2.6 and see where that puts us. We're getting close. I think we're a little. No, that's fine. That's going above it. See if we're going below it. I think it's just fine at 2.6. Now let's go check our S. Need it to be a little smaller. What was we got? 2.6. See if that works on that one. I think I'd rather have a little more meat sticking out on that. So let's go back to our size. Or was I already in the size? Let's go back 2.63 and see what that looks like. That gives me a little more meat sticking out. Welding that in a little better. Alright, see if this one will work the same. I think we were at 2.6 on the other one. Again, I think I'd rather have a little more. 2.62. That gives us some. Okay, that one's good. I think that's all, isn't it? Okay, see, it's going pretty quick. I'm getting a lot better at doing this. Let's close that tool out. Now it's time to trim this and we'll be done. And I need to get rid of my little boxes that I put in there. So let's go with our trim tool here. Zoom in and whoop, trim that out. And now we need to trim the top of these out so it'll weld in. See there? It'll cut all in one piece that way. All that material will flow through in that. Get that one and that one. Scoot over here and get our O. Okay. Get the bottom of the O. Alright. I used to spend hours trying to figure out how to do this. I finally learned how to do this with this software. Works pretty quick and easy. Just go on here and trim all these out. Top of this eye. end. Okay, bottom of this end, top of the end. Get this S. I'm probably going too fast. If anybody has any questions on this, be sure and ask, because I watched lots of videos and things to learn how to do this, but I do it so much now that it's becoming pretty easy. I've had a lot of orders for these type of signs lately. Okay. Gary Ramsey's, I think, he's been asking a few questions about this software. I think he's thinking about getting it too. He uses Inkscape a lot, and I do too, but this is a lot easier than Inkscape. Okay, looks like they're all welded in now. So this file is just about done. Let's close that cut tool. Let's go ahead and select this again. And over here there's a vector validator. Check for issues. So let's search this selected and see it shows 0. So I have no problems in here supposedly. So pretty much ready, so I'll group this. And that's done. Now what I've been doing, I need to save this, so let's export, make this SVG file. I'll put it in my SVG folder, and I've been naming these Mon, and the name that's in them to my name. So, and let's save that one. And I can close that, and I don't want to save that original file. So then if I want to look at what it's going to look like, then I usually open Inkscape, because I can fill that in. So let's go to import, and we'll go find that file, Mon Robinson, right there. And we'll bring this down where we can see it a little bit. And I can just take this little paint bucket here, and what's it doing? And there we go. So now we can see kind of what it's going to look like when we're done. And it looks pretty good. I usually try to fill these letters in almost to the edge, but that name's a little too long. Probably could find a different font, but I like this font because it's flat on the top and they kind of weld in better. So that's done. I'm going to close that without saving it. I don't want to save it again. Alright, Scott, I think we were talking about for Tara, I was going to make one of those little Christmas, see if I can find that file we were going to make for her. I think it's in the DXF folder. Let's see. I had a few different versions of that. I think I fixed one of them. That file had issues. That file was shared to me, and it had some duplicate lines in it and stuff. I think I fixed that to where it works better now. So this is a little bit easier because the vector box is already in there. I don't have to draw any extra lines. So let's just put Tara's name in here. T-E-R-A. It almost fits, but not quite. See, I put spaces in there. I have to do this without spaces. Just do like that, maybe. Now we need to get the size right, so let's close that tool. And just go ahead and try to size this. Let's try 1.95. It needs a little more than that. 1.96. Let's see what that does. Need just a little more. Let's try 197. Not quite enough. How about 1975? See, if you get that too far in there, it makes this margin not really enough right there. Looks like we're across that line. Across that line. And not quite across that one, so let's go ahead and I could move it up a little. I think we need a little more size. Let's go ahead and just make it 1.98. And that should work, I think. Okay, we're above the line there. And there. It's fine. Let's see if they're all right. Yeah, it looks good. That one's fine. That's good. Looks like they're all good. Okay. So now we can turn them to vectors, because the machine won't cut something that's not a vector. So they still look like they're good. Okay, that's pretty much done now, except we need to trim them out so they weld in. So let's go to our trim tool. Go ahead and trim the tops off of these. That one. Get this over here where you can see it. Okay. Hopefully it's working fine. Yeah, I'm getting sluggish, ain't I? I'm tired. It's after 1 o'clock now. I'm just showing what I've learned lately, really. These are kind of running together. I hope they work okay. Let's see what happens here. I don't know what's... I just messed up probably. So you gotta be careful doing that. So let's go back, undo that. See what we can do to fix that. I don't know. See, that's getting rid of stuff. Might can go back. See what happens if I trim this first. Maybe I can trim that out. See what happens if I trim these. What'd that do to us? Trim that off maybe? And that little piece right there needs to go away. You can kind of get yourself in a bind sometimes. I guess that's okay like that. I could have probably moved that letter over a little, but I don't know. It may be okay like that. If I wasn't making a video, I might try something. But I'm trying to hurry. Nobody wants to sit around and watch me fumble around. It probably cut just fine. Just like that. I think everything's good. I hope that's how you spell her name. I didn't look her name up, but I think that's right. Okay, now let's just check this for errors. Hopefully it don't have any. Nope, no errors, so that's ready to cut. So let's just save that one as an SVG, and let's just name that Christmas Tara. I'm going to try to mail this to him if I cut one of these so she can paint it herself. She can probably make it look better than I could. Alright, and let's save that in our SVG folder. That's what I usually use at the machine out there. So, alright, I think that's good. Now, let's go ahead and look at it, see what it's going to look like with Inkscape. So we'll go File, Import, Christmas Terra is what it should be right there. Now, let's just take a look. Let's just fill that in with some paint and see what it does. Bam, there you go, Terra. Think it's going to be fine. It's a little funny right there where that A and that R come together. It probably be fine just like that. So anyway, let's close this before I screw it up. Alright, well, thanks for watching this for just a little bit. We've been in here 10-15 minutes jacking with two different files. I'll try to get out on the machine and show this cut tomorrow. So thanks for watching. I'm going to bed. See you guys later. So the next step is we got to get this drawing that we did for Terra here in the sheet cam. I just imported that file. I know it's hard to see on this screen here, but that's all we did here. And looks like it'll cut fine. And, you know, we trimmed all those out. Let's see. Let's see if we can get this cut right quick. So we need to put an operation on this. So let's just go. We're on 14 gauge steel here. I'm about out of steel on the table. I'm just trying to use these little pieces up. So hopefully this won't take long. Just looking, make sure it looks all right. There's actually a lot of little things I could do to make this probably cut better. Move these start points around. I don't know. I don't really want to spend a lot of time on this, but you kind of need to get the best cut here. It's set on a tangent, so you want it to be as smooth as possible in the lead in and the lead out. So I think that's right. I can't really see what that's doing there. I think that's right. It's S1, S3, S2, and S2's up here, S3, S8. I should have had this ready. I just wanted to show you kind of what it takes to make this ready. Some of these are not all that great the way it's picking these here, but trying to get the best chance I can of making this work. Tangents on the inside cut are not that great, but there's so many different little cuts in here. Just trying to, I'm not going to spend much time here. It's not a real important cut here, just a little Christmas decoration. I'm gonna just leave it alone because we're gonna waste a lot of time if I mess around with it. Anyway, so that's ready to go. All I gotta do is post-process that and save it. And it's ready, so I can close Sheet Cam and open Mach 4 and get the table set up. So I'm gonna move you down to the other end so you can see what's going on here. Okay, so I've put me some marks right in this corner where I want to line up, and I've lined the torch up on the X and Y there. This piece will barely fit in this spot, so it should have plenty of room, but anyway, I'm going to go down to the machine down there and get ready to set this off. All I got to do is load that file we just made into Mach 4, and I'll set that off. So bear with me just a minute while I'm down here doing that. Okay, I think it's ready. I'm always afraid I'm forgetting something, but I don't know what it would be. So, here's Johnny. All right then, there it is, Tara. pretty clean. The letters came out good. I'm just picking this stuff off with my fingers. The back's usually where all the dross is, so we'll see how clean it is. Probably not extremely clean, but not too bad either. I'll probably go ahead and deburr this for you so you don't have to mess with all that. It won't take much to clean that up. And then I'll try to mail this to you so you can paint it however you want to. I've been painting them red, not putting much effort into them. But I mean, some people have talked about, you could paint all this red and then paint around these maybe green leaves with a brown stem, something like that, and maybe gold or silver on this part. You can do it any way you want to. I was just, they're not worth messing with very much for me. If somebody wants one, I can just punch one out pretty easy, and you could just hang it up with their family name or whatever they want on them. But that's just something I done lately during Christmas. Anyway, there's a few little burrs on it. I could spend more time probably dialing the machine in better, and you probably wouldn't get any dross, but it's not much. I'm picking all this off with my fingers. It's just not much there. Thought about letting you have it just like this so you can kind of see what it looks like when one comes off the machine, but just in case that Tara don't want to mess with that, I'd hate for you to hang it up with all that burrs on there. Anyway, I mean, this is the only side you see anyway, but anyway, it looks pretty cool. That's all I really had for this week, I think. I've got to change this material out and do quite a few. I may, well, it'll be a little wobbly. I'll show you around just a minute. Got a few things going on here. Let me move the camera. Try not to be too crazy. Whoops, I'm already beating on it. Here's one on the table that I had done for another lady that I know, Miss Trice. So there's probably a glare on it, but that's kind of what they look like. And while we're looking around, I'll show you around the shop for a minute. It's just been a mess in here trying to paint, and it's been too cold and windy outside to paint. So I've been having to do it in here, unfortunately. So I've gotten rid of a lot of pieces that I've already done, but I just painted these a little while ago. These antlers that I'd made for some people. There's one that's upside down and backwards, but yeah, the shop's a real mess doing this kind of work. I've cleaned a lot of them out. There's a few more over here. Oh, while we're going in circles, let me show you. There's a bunch of material that was given to me by a friend that had a machine like this at one time, and he had gotten rid of it. So he's got about 4 or 5 pieces of material that he gave me. I think that's 16 gauge, and one of them's a 10-foot long piece of aluminum that's most of it's all there. And there's a few mechanic jobs, that I got conned into there on a generator and a heater. I don't think there's a lot. Well, I've got a carburetor ordered for the generator. It's not a big deal at all. And we'll look right over here. There's just a few pieces there that I'm kind of in the middle of. Those look pretty decent. Hope I don't wobble this camera too bad. I'm trying to get it down on this tripod so it's not as wobbly. And I'll take you another room right quick and show you around at what's going on. Had some people come pick a lot of these signs up today. Get some more tomorrow. Let's see what we've got in here in this messy room. I made this one for myself, but then my cousin wanted it. So that's going away tomorrow. May have already shown you these in the past. As much as I hate Dodges, you know, I made these for some friends that kind of like them. And there's another one of those crosses that's ready. There's an elk back there. I don't know if you can see that behind that couch there. Anyway, there's quite a few pieces ready.